Gaming, stereotypes, and representation, and why. We've been seeing more and more representation in gaming, and the stereotypes of basement-dwelling gamers being challenged each day. Let's talk about it, and dive into the world of gaming, and talk about the experiences and moments we lived through it. Please, welcome our guests, Greybead and Binkz. I am humbled and also blessed to be accompanied by what used to be known, or who used to be known as Bootsy Salad Binkz, has now just gone with Binkz, and Mr. Greybead himself. Gentlemen, starting with Binkz, please introduce yourselves briefly and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Thank you for inviting me for the segment that we're doing. My name is Tyler, also known as Binkz. I was not formerly known as Booty Salad. Please don't, Capes, don't do that. But I don't know, bro. I just love playing games, love streaming. Got into it because I saw a lot of people doing it, and for me, I just didn't see enough of myself in the space, man. So that's how I got into it. If that makes any sense.
Makes perfect sense. Mr. Greybead, from your side.
I think very simply, gaming kind of helped me through the pandemic. I survived the pandemic because of gaming. But generally speaking, I think my best description is I'm an evangelist for Rocket League. I discovered Rocket League 8 years ago. I fell in love with it. I love everything about it. And I'm not especially great at the game, but so I kind of see my role as trying to promote the game and get others involved in it, and just help build the Rocket League community in this region.
Fantastic, perfect. So now you know a little bit about our guests. And for those of you that don't know me, it's Papa Capes, who has chosen to create my own opportunities. And that's why I'm no longer a competitive gamer, but a content creator. So the first question I'd like to ask the both of you. Traditionally, we know what used to be seen as a gamer. So I'd just like for you to share your opinions of what you think the traditional stereotype is of what a gamer. I'll start. I thought gamer was definitely wearing glasses, maybe staying in mommy's basement. Right, takes off his glasses. But I mean, these are the way they used to be depicted as I was growing up on TV shows, that I would see them on computers or playing gaming consoles. So yeah, to you guys traditionally, what is a gamer?
Okay, but do you want to go first?
Now go, Binkz. Go.
Traditionally, if we're gonna be traditional about it, based on what we've seen online / in TV shows, in movies, you can say that every single stereotype with regards to anything, you would get it from movies and videos and online things that you see.
Yeah.
So honestly, exactly what you said, mother's basement, maybe a beer fence, glasses, like that's basically what was depicted as a typical gamer back then, and to this day still. I still don't get why it's being depicted like that, because today gamers don't look anything like that.
I mean, here we are, right?
That's what I was just about to mention. 15-year-old, 27-year-old, someone that like jumps every single day, buff, short, skinny, bro. It's gamers on. We just look like normal people now. I don't know why.
We're all normal people. What do you mean?
I mean, based on what we look like. You know what I mean?
I think, for me, what has been quite interesting is as an older person is discovering how many older people are actually gamers and like gaming. But because of the stereotype, and there's a bit of a stigma attached to it, when you're a child, when you're a teenager, and you're socially awkward, well, then you can game, then you can spend all your time gaming. But eventually you become a grown-up and you're expected to go and do grown-up things, which doesn't include gaming. Yet there are so many that do, and they're a little bit embarrassed about it. So you don't really hear about them. And so part of my journey has been to find all these older gamers. And for me, older is anything 30 and over. But people who, they've gotten married, they've had kids, they're doing the adult thing, but they still love gaming. And I kind of want to make it okay for them to do that, because the stereotype does make them hide in the shadows a bit.
100%. I agree with you completely. Like, if I have to take myself as the example, I mean, I'm an ex-professional rugby player who now feeds his family of 2 kids because of gaming. So you would never find that back in the day. So these horizons have definitely expanded. And luckily so, because again, if we go back, these stereotypes are nowhere near accurate. And I think that's the beauty of gaming. And I always preach something is like gaming unites people. So first of all, let's drop these stereotypes because they're nowhere near accurate. Look at the 3 people that you're looking to and listening to right now. We are all different from different scopes of life, different backgrounds, different financial brackets, whatever the case may be. But we've got a common passion for gaming, and that's what matters. That's genuinely what matters. So if we take a look at like casual gamers and hardcore gamers and maybe the demographics of gamers as well, what can you guys comment on how the rise of casual gamers has taken place? And it's not just your hardcore competitive gamers that you see on Twitch, on Kick, on YouTube, but casual gamers, like there's a rise. There's definitely a rise. Greybead, we'll start with you.
I think there's, I think more and more, and certainly the pandemic helped with that because people were stuck at home and desperate for something to do while we were at home, and we saw this explosion of it. But I think gaming has become a viable, legitimate entertainment alternative. I mean, that's how I got into it. I was bored with series and TV, the usual I was bored and I wanted to find something different to do, and I discovered gaming through that by trying to explore. So I think that's what we're seeing is, whether it's a Friday night or guys just getting together and that sense of community around a game or gaming in general. I think that's been the rise as a legitimate, proper way for you to interact with a circle of friends around something you enjoy doing.
100%. 100%. Mr. Binkz, anything you want to add there?
I was about to say, and the level of entry with regards to finding that competitive, casual experience with regards to multiplayer games.
Yeah.
It became easier once we got a lot of free-to-play titles that gave us the opportunity to play competitively in a casual setting, I guess, if you want to call it that.
I got you.
Because a lot of people started playing Fortnite, as an example. Because Fortnite was very easy to get into. It was for the kids, but at the same time, if you wanted to get good at the game, you could have gotten good at the game because they give you that they give you the platform for you 100%. To play against people that are also as good as you in that set. So coming from a single player / split screen background with regards to PlayStation 2 and PS1, going into Xbox and third gen, second gen consoles.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But going from the split screen to the online, I feel like because the free to play titles gave us the online experience, it made it more accessible for us to do.
100%.
So it really did evolve a lot.
It's only going to continue to do exactly that. If I have to touch on demographics within the gaming space, I ignorantly played games thinking that everybody that I'm playing games with on the other side is a man as well. However, I've been so pleasantly surprised. In the recent years of my gaming, whether the titles Valorant, Rocket League, Counter-Strike, so many women play games. And we know that there's so much stereotypes attached to that as well, and stigmas attached to it, that I full-heartedly believe is, again, like I announced earlier, nowhere near accurate to what it's actually about. And the fact that you see so many women in this space, not only getting introduced to the gaming, but thriving, earning a salary, earning a living, feeding their family, because they've decided that they're passionate about gaming and they're not going to allow for anything to be an obstacle that they cannot overcome, is phenomenal. Ryan, Tyler, we're going to jump into a short break. I'm excited to get back to hear what you guys have to say on this topic a little bit further.
Hi guys, I'm LeBishop and I'm the head coach for the Counter-Strike division in Bravado Gaming, and today I'll be eating some South African food. Uma. Oh, I know this.
Oh, okay. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Oh, this is really good. I like this a lot. Oh, dude, it's like a 6-7.
Oh, I really like that. 6.
Oh, Ross. Christ, there's only one S.
I give it a 1.
No, that's like an 8-9.
Oh,
And so we have something, I'm going to say we because I live in Romania, where they have something very, very similar. They call it kolanos. So this is basically the dried version that I was saying.
I know that's why it's called drivers.
It's very, very good. So yeah, this is very, very good. This is like 8-9, possibly even a 10. What is this? I'm not gonna lie, this is not capital. What is it? Bull tongue, as in like the male cow.
Wait, hold on. Break down your thought process here.
I heard bull tongue.
Like bull tongue.
As in bull, yeah.
I'm gonna avoid the fat end.
No, that's the best part.
Go for the fat.
Throw the whole thing in your mouth and just chew.
Okay. No, I don't mind it. I'm not gonna lie. The visual puts me off a bit, but I'll try again. I'll give this. It started off as a 5, but it's kind of growing to a 6, possibly a 7.
The next space from there is representation in games. And I think one game, in my opinion, that does it magnificently well is Apex Legends. So for you guys, what I'd like to know from you is like kind of what representation within these games, whether it be characters, whether it be the scoring, whether it be the experience that it offers, what has stood out for you and kind of what do you think maybe a platform can do to be more inclusive, maybe communities can do, build community hubs like what ATK has done in Cape Town, like what Bravado has done here in Johannesburg, just to delve deeper into a place that includes all, regardless of what you look like, what your beliefs are, or anything like that. I know that's a big question. So representation within games, for example, like Apex, and then what platforms or organizations can do to work on inclusivity.
I think from my side, it has to be community driven. As great as gaming is, we are aware of the problem areas that exist and issues, but there are amazing community people who are working to make safe spaces for gamers, for streamers, for content creators, and those need to be supported and helped. And in many cases, by and large, and I know I'm a bit of a contradiction there, but by and large, this is young. Young people are doing this, and they need help and guidance and safe spaces. Women need a safe space. So any community groups, and there are amazing people in our own local community that we're very, great names. In Rocket League, we have the bro community of people like Bumfluffsky who does everything he can to create spaces. You yourself, Capes, with your streaming. We need more of those just to continue to make it safe for women, for people of color, for anybody who wants to get into it, to find a safe way into it. So that community-driven passion is incredibly important for growing the scene and making it safe for everybody.
And Binkz, you don't mind touching on the representation side?
Yeah, I was just about to say, as much as things can be provided for us, it's down to the people that have to sort it out. Because if they don't feel it within themselves that they would want to include people in it, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's literally down
100%.
to the people. So, I don't even have anything else to end.
Hit the nail on the head, yeah.
Went out of my mouth, because I was about to speak.
100%.
And you took it. I was like,
I jumped in.
yeah. No, because the thing is, I was about to say the exact same thing, because it's genuinely just down to the people and the community itself. And
No doubt.
I feel like the individuals that are putting themselves out there to do this, I applaud them, because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, and it doesn't, just because you're doing something good for a certain amount of people, you're not excluding the others as well. People need to remember that. So at the end of the day, we just have to support the people that are putting themselves out there, because they, as much as they put themselves forward, they face a lot of backlash for no reason. And they try to do something good for whatever cause they want to do. So
100%.
we just have to support them, in all honesty.
No, I feel you. And that segues kind of perfectly into potentially the last topic, is that a couple of years ago, those who knew gaming knew of consoles, knew of PCs. Gaming is recently, and I say recently, I'm talking maybe 5 to 10 years, become a global phenomenon. And that could be because of the approach of inclusivity. Like for me, I'm an immersive gamer. When I'm not competing, if I can immerse and find relatability into the character that I'm playing, I will spend hours upon hours upon hours into that game. And this is where it's awesome, is that developers have taken a stance to tell stories that have become a lot more relatable, regardless of who you are, what you look like, your background, your skin color, your weight, your IQ number, whatever the case may be. And I think that as Greybead touched on, communities are kind of feeding off of that, because the developers are trying to obviously lead from the top down. Like we consume what they develop at the end of the day. So I think we're on the right track. There's still going to be a lot of kinks to iron out. But as people who are as different as we are to the stereotype of your usual gamer, what do you feel our responsibility is in this space?
Honestly, to just encourage as much inclusivity as possible. Because, like you mentioned, it only really became a phenomenon a few years ago, like 5, 10. So if we continue to do what we're doing, it might inspire others to carry on with what we did when we do maybe stop. I don't think any of us would ever stop gaming, but
Nope.
that's what but eventually when we do pass the mantle on, we just hope that they would just carry on with what we did, quote unquote. But I think it's just, I don't know, it's very it's like just very, it's very easy to just continue, you know. It's not that hard.
I got you.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, what I've enjoyed being an older person in a generally speaking younger space is firstly it keeps me young, interacting a lot with young people, but also the life experience I have. I mean, I'm amazed at the problems that young people get themselves wrapped up in, where they think it's like really important, like stuff that's really not. And so from that perspective, I enjoy the process. I'm trying to guide and give some perspective and say, you know what, your loss in this particular game or tournament or whatever, really, it's not the end of the world. There's so much more perspective beyond that.
No
so
doubt.
I think, Capes, you asked a question like, what is our responsibility? And I think it's the same in gaming as it is anywhere in life. And the closest I'll come to dodgy language in this podcast is, the simple premise is, don't be a dick, be a good person, be someone that just wants to help people for the sake of just being helpful. Be nice, be kind, be courteous, be forceful when you have to, because sometimes you got to have awkward, difficult conversations with people. Have those conversations with a view to helping. So it's just be a good person in this world, and as you go through the community, try and leave the next person feeling a little bit better, or was it
100%?
It's actually not that hard, but that's what we have to do. But we have to do it all the time.
Yep. As we come to the end of this segment, I think it's important for me to identify that I think I can speak on behalf of all three of us, is that some people are out there in the gaming space whose only adversity is stigmas that they attach to or stereotypes that are placed on them. And that's an adversity that, if taken on together, can be shattered instantaneously. And other people are prevented because of financial, they cannot invest into a console, they cannot invest into a PC. But those are also adversities that we can collectively come together as a community to help them get out of that. But the adversity that we're focusing on now is that if you find yourself in a space where people's opinions of you are preventing you from chasing your passion in gaming, what they think of you doesn't matter. You can do great things in this space, and you can reach out to anybody here, Mr. Greybeard, Binkz, myself included, and many, many, many other people in this space. But do not let a stereotype or the lack of representation be an adversity that you face in this space. I think that the world of gamers in the mainstream is looking bright. Thank you again to our guests, Ryan and Tyler, for their time. Don't miss the next episode of The Round Table.